Welcome to JavaScript land. So in this class we've learned HTML and we've learned CSS and now a third and different language, JavaScript, which we'll just touch on today. It's really the subject of its own class here, and rightfully so. We can spend the whole semester and do learning about how to harness the power of JavaScript to make your page behave in exciting ways. So I'm going to go through the slides. This is the slide that I'm on here inside the Forms, HTML, and JavaScript presentation that you have linked in your JavaScript, in your Blackboard content for this week. In this example, we're going to use a small piece of JavaScript in order to change the content on the page, and I'll go through step by step what part of the code does what thing. So I'm going to get set by creating a basic HTML skeleton. JavaScript examples, save. I'm just stashing this inside my week 13 folder area, and it doesn't matter what I put here, but let me give it an ID. Change me. What did I do in the slides? Demo. Okay, it doesn't matter what I use for an ID here, as long as it is unique. Change this text B, and then let's put a button. And for now, so there's a bunch of stuff in here, but I'm going to just put a basic button. There's a type of button on here too. You could use an input type of button as well. It doesn't matter what this is. This could be a link, could be anything actually. It doesn't have to be a button, it just is in this example, but it could just as well be actually anything. Could be a link, could be just a piece of text, doesn't matter. Okay, let's have a look at this in the browser. That was from the previous icon font. Let's see. Okay, so here's a button. Maybe I should put some text on it. I try to stick close to the demo if I can. Just says click me in the demo. Save, refresh. Okay, so I'm supposed to click, nothing happens right now, but this is the basic. Now I'm going to add some JavaScript to this button, and I'm going to add it in what is called an on-click handler. So just like we have a type attribute, there are a bunch of attributes that start with the word on-click in this case, and the cool thing about the ones that start with on is that anything that you type in here is known to be JavaScript. So it's not HTML, it's not CSS, it's JavaScript. And that means that I can type JavaScript in here. So for example, first I'm just going to type a very short little piece of JavaScript that will pop up a pop-up window. Yay! Actually, an alert box. Hello. So this in here, it doesn't really look like CSS because it's not. It doesn't look like HTML because it's not. It's its own language. And what this is saying, if JavaScript could speak English, it would say, do this thing called alert. And by the way, all this stuff in parentheses is extra information that will be helpful in order to perform the alert. So this is always the syntax when I'm asking JavaScript to do something like this. Here's the name of the thing I want to do, and then in parentheses, here's the information that I will need in order to do that. So if I do just this simple thing, save and refresh in the browser, then I'll pop up a box for me. It says hello, and then I can click OK to dismiss it. So welcome to JavaScript. Now this example is doing something a little more complicated. It is trying to find something by ID. So I'm going to type something like that in. So this is document.getElementById. Again, what do I want to do? And this is just memorizing. I'm typing this because I have it memorized. What I would want to do is document.getElementById, and it's going to need some information in order to get that for me, and that is in the parentheses. What I put in here is the ID of the text that I want to change. Change me. So by itself, this does nothing. If I want, I can alert this like I did before. This should fetch me the actual P. So this whole thing is the actual P tag. If I want to change something about it, then I have to then access something special about it called inner HTML, .inner HTML. So what I'm seeing right now is like lots of new syntax, lots of new things to memorize. Don't get so hung up on it because we're just going to touch on it in here. If in this lesson you get inspired and excited by the power of JavaScript, then I suggest that you take the entire JavaScript class where you can really learn from the ground up how to make it all work. Now, this whole thing says document.element by ID change me. This gives me the whole paragraph tag. The inner HTML gets me everything between the tags of the P. So that's what inner HTML always does. At this point, I've gotten myself all the way to this particular P tag on line 10. At this point, I'm inside the P tags looking at change this text. So if I were to wrap up all of this stuff in an alert, here's my alert again. Here's what I need to know about the alert. I want to know all of this. And save. And go to the browser and refresh. It says change this text because that's the text that it fetched out of the P and alerted for me. Okay, so that's alert plus something else. Now, in this example, I don't want to alert it out in a pop-up window. I want to actually make a change to it, and that is one more special item in JavaScript. Again, this is a lot in one go. This one example is pretty complicated when you have never seen JavaScript before. So I'm going to use an equal sign, and I'm going to now put some new text right here. La, la, la. And here is the end. Save, refresh, click, and it changes. Magical.